Hey friend, as you can see, I am not on a cruise ship. I am in Long Beach, California right now. And as you can tell from the title, I had a little medical issue. And I know some people say that they wouldn't want to live full-time on cruise ships or travel extensively because of medical issues. And if you have serious medical issues, I would not suggest doing that kind of thing. But if you're a fairly healthy person like me and you're just concerned about what happens if there's an emergency, that's what this video is going to cover. That's what I wanted to talk to you about today. And so I'm fairly healthy. I have some minor issues that I deal with that I take medication for, but nothing drastic. And today, well, actually it was yesterday, what had happened was, and I thought about it, should I make this video? I don't really like to get too deep into personal things like that, but I think this one's okay, and I'm okay sharing this one. First of all, I am fine, 100%. I'm not in any pain, anything like that. And it is, what time is it? It is 10:45 on October 12th. So I just got off one ship. Long Beach got a lot of buses. It's probably because I'm in the downtown area and they all, I don't know about all of them, but they congregate over here. So it just feels like it's a lot of buses. But then I'm also right here by the metro train. So it's a really good spot. But anyway, so what had happened was yesterday, last day on the ship, before we came back to port, we were in Ensenada. I think we left probably about 3 or 4. I went to the restroom and it was burning when I went to the bathroom. And it was a little trace of blood. I don't like to hear about this kind of stuff. So I really don't like to talk about it. So if you don't want to hear about it, you probably want to skip this video and I'll forgive you. I won't be mad. Is that my bus? No. Anywho. So I was thinking, oh no, I probably got bladder infection or something. I don't know what's going on. And so I said, I'll take some pain medicine or whatever. And when I get off the ship, I'll go to the doctor, to urgent care and see what's up. Well, later on, a little bit after dinner, I went to the bathroom and it was burning bad. And I heard clink. And I'm like, what the flip? I'm thinking something fell from the ceiling, but no, I looked and it was a stone, a kidney stone. I confirmed that with the doctor, but I kind of already knew, you hear about these things. I never had a kidney stone before, but it was a kidney stone. And yeah, I was looking it up and some people were saying that it's worse than having a baby. Listen, no, I have a kidney stone any day over having a baby, but it was painful. And no, I don't need a ride. Thank you. If somebody asking you for a taxi ride in these public streets, we don't do that. Yeah, so I'm here waiting for the free passport bus that goes, because it is the weekend, it's a Sunday. All right, so back to my story. So yes, it passed immediately, and then went to the bathroom again that night. It was still kind of painful, still a little bit of blood, but nothing serious. So I'm like, if it's still like this in the morning, I'm getting off this ship. You do your little self-evaluation and you Google stuff and chat GPT and all that. And from what I gathered from the stuff that I read, I was fine, but I didn't know if there was more in there. So I said, if it still hurt like this in the morning, then I'm gonna go to the doctor. So when I got up first thing this morning, it did still hurt a little, not as much, but a little, and it was still a little trace of blood. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna pack up, take all my stuff, because everything I own is on that ship. So I said, I'm gonna take everything and if in case I got to go to the hospital, or he tells me, you know, you got to wait for some lab results or something, then I'll just book a hotel and stay in Long Beach. It's probably going to be expensive, but hey, you know, my health is more important, right? Your health is important. I would never say don't go to the doctor, but you do need to, you know what kind of health plan that you have. I know that my health plan is not going to cover me here. It's only going to cover me in Georgia, and I have one of those, high deductible plans. So I already plan to have any kind of health care up to $6,000 that I know I need to pay that out of pocket. So I really just have health insurance just to cover me for emergencies. And of course I have travel insurance, again, for emergencies. And you'll see how much it is in just a moment, how much I paid. But for this, I wouldn't submit a claim to either one for reimbursement. It is what it is, because I don't want my premiums to go up, right? I would rather pay this out of pocket and not worry about premiums going up than to have them reimburse me for this amount. But this is actually my third time going to the doctor. So anyway, back to the story. When I got up, it was still hurting a little, not a lot, but I had already told myself if it was still hurting, I was going to go to the doctor. So yep, I packed up all my stuff, told my cabin steward, just in case I didn't show back up, that yeah, I'll be back the next cruise, because I'm not going to be in the hospital. If I do go to the hospital, I'm not going to be there that long, I wouldn't think. But anyway, it's another bus, not mine. So yeah, I started packing up and everything, and of course I had to go to the bathroom again. But then when I went to the bathroom again right before I got off the ship, there was no pain, there was no more blood, everything was fine. But I still already said, you know, it is what it is. I'm still gonna go just as precautionary measure. So yeah, from Long Beach, I was able to, because today is the weekend, there is a free bus. It's called the Passport, which is where I'm sitting at now, trying to take it to go back. There's a free bus that will take you to downtown Long Beach from the cruise port. It's only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I heard that it used to be every day, but they don't have enough people to work. Is this my bus? Okay, this is my bus coming now. So I'll finish this story after I get to a spot where I can talk. And that's not on the bus, because I don't keep my camera out on the bus. So I'll finish this in a moment. All right, so I made it over here to the ship. And where were we in our little story? I kind of forgot. I think I made it to the part where I said I was going to get off the ship. So, yeah, once I got off the once I decided to go ahead and get off the ship, took all my stuff with me and walked over here where I'm at now. There's this stop here between Carnival Firenze and the Queen Mary. Is it Queen Mary? I think it's Queen Mary ship. And then the Passport bus, I think it's somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. More than 5 minutes, not more than 10. That dropped me off right there downtown Long Beach at first. And then I walked maybe, I think it was 0.2 miles to an urgent care. So at the urgent care, long story short, it costs $225 to see the doctor, because my insurance is not going to cover me outside of Georgia. And I think I talked about that already. And anything additional that, I keep forgetting this is a hotel. I'm like, where are people coming from? They're on golf carts, because they stay at this hotel before they get on the cruise ship. And then they have these little golf carts that take them. Focus, squirrel. $225 is what it costs. And then anything that they do as far as, you know, analysis and x-rays and things like that is additional. So if you do something like this and you have to go to something like that, I always ask them ahead of time, how much is it going to cost? Don't go in there and then give me a bill at the end talking about, you know, $3,000, $4,000, or even $400 or $500, and I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, I asked them ahead of time, and then if they're going to do anything extra, I asked them to let me know ahead of time how much it's going to cost me. It costs a total of $250. because it was $25 for the urine analysis. Basically, they did all my vitals and stuff, and everything was really good. Even my blood pressure, which I do have high blood pressure, but I said it in a few videos. Since I've been living full-time on cruise ships, I have not had, my blood pressure hasn't been high at all. I don't even check it no more because I know I'm not stressed, and I know I'm not stress eating. So I'm not saying I eat the best, the healthiest, but I know I'm not eating unhealthy. Let's put it that way. So long story short, he confirmed that it was a kidney stone.
If anything, I'll probably send out a urine culture just to really make sure you don't have a UTI.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't see a need for any imaging or medication. I would continue to just, let's make sure you don't have a UTI. And then,
does that cost extra?
Yeah.
Then I'd rather not do it if there's no reason to do it. Because I got to pay everything.
You're doing stuff out of pocket?
Yeah.
I'm alright with that then.
Okay.
Just, strict precautions that if any of those symptoms return, like we talked about the flank pain, the abdominal pain, urgency, frequency, fever, chills, then you really do need to find somewhere that you can be reassessed.
Okay, alright. Stone.
Yeah, there might have been a stone like that, might kind of cause a little irritation or damage to the urinary tract as it comes out, it kind of scrapes. So, and it's a small amount, and we're talking about microscopic blood, so.
Okay. And when you looked at this is bigger than normal, or this is?
Yeah, I'm surprised you're able to pass it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, pictures are always kind of nice to look at. Those are other kidney stones. Looks pretty similar.
Okay. Oh, so they are different sizes, okay.
Yeah.
So there's a piece of my kidney that came off?
It's
Or
like
something inside my kidney?
calcification. So, I would hold on to it. Do you have a primary care?
I do. It's in Georgia.
Let me ask the girls to call Quest. I think I see the order for it. Let me see if we can send that out for you. We should do that if we can, to see what kind of stone it is.
Okay. And do you know how much that would be?
No. Let me just try and find out for you.
Okay, okay.
So it's $113.25 to send out the stone, and that's really just to find out what it's made out of, and sometimes that can kind of help with prevention of future stones. So I'd recommend it. Just
I don't want.
just 2 liters of water at least every day. Stay hydrated.
2 liters of water. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So, all right.
He said the only thing was he wasn't sure what kind of kidney stone, so I could. He did want me to send it in for analysis. I of course asked how much that would be, and then he also wanted to do a. He also wanted to check to see if I had a bladder infection, which obviously there's something going on down there because I just had a doggone stone in there. But while he was checking on the prices to do all that stuff, I do have someone in my family. On days like this, she's my best friend. Someone in my family who works in the emergency room, and she's able to help me out with questions like that. Of course, she still suggests whenever I ask her stuff, to confirm with the doctors and stuff like that. But I consulted with her while he was gone. And then as soon as I sent it to her, she knew exactly what it was. She knew what kind it was and everything. And then I Googled it after I got off with her because I was waiting forever for the doctor to come back. And sure enough, it looked exactly like the photos. Wait for that bus to go by. Sure enough, what she told me what it was, it looked exactly like the ones in the photos online. So not that I distrusted her, I just wanted to see for myself, which, she and my doctor both said this thing was so huge. She said, whoa, that's a whopper. And I was like, yeah, because when I was looking it up on ChatGPT, they said that kidney stones are like the size of a pea. And I'm like, this thing is bigger than a pea. I don't know what kind of peas y'all eating, but yeah. And the doctor said, when he saw the size, he said, whoa, I'm surprised you were even able to pass that. And I'm like, okay. because I never had one before, so I don't know what size they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to look like and stuff like that. But yeah, so to not drag this video out, again, I just wanted to come on and talk about my experience of going to the doctor. And yes, I took precautions to take all my stuff with me in case I need to go to the hospital or go stay in a hotel or something like that. But I didn't, and it is now 11:13, and I'm gonna go get back on my ship. I'm gonna go home now. So yeah, just to encourage you, if you're planning on taking some, either living full-time on cruise ships or taking some extended cruises, don't let emergencies and little side things like this stop you from doing it. This is actually my third time having an issue. I went to the ship doctor the other 2 times, which, listen, when I went to the ship doctor, it was $115. This, I just told you, cost me $225. So that arm and a leg, for the charges on the ship actually was less than going to urgent care. But I didn't want to go to I didn't want to go to the ship doctor here because of the timing of it and the unknown, right? So I knew that we were on our last day, and we would be coming back to port, and it wasn't emergency. It was only pain when I went to the bathroom, and that was it. Even after I was done with the bathroom, it wasn't like a lingering pain that just sat around. It was only when I went to the bathroom. So I was thinking I could just go to the ship doctor, but no, what if this is something that I need to go to the hospital for, or they need to, examine me a little bit more. And we all have in our head that cruise ships, overcharge and things like that. But no, in both cases, when I went to see the doctors on the cruise ship, that base fee just to see the doctor of $115 was less than, well, maybe it's because it's California, right? It was almost half of what I spent just to see the doctor, that $225 here on land. So yeah, don't let that stop you from, finding your happy place and moving to wherever you feel that you're supposed to be. But do make preparations. Like I said, I have emergency funds. I have an HSA that's set aside that will cover me up to what my insurance won't cover me, which is $6,000 in my case for my high deductible insurance. And same thing with my travel insurance. Of course, I have a deductible there. So as long as you have those bases covered, and at minimal you have a source of income where if you did have an expense, you could put the expense on the credit card and use that source of income to pay that back. Of course, the emergency fund is going to be your best bet. But I feel like I'm rambling, and I'm about to get my butt back on this ship. And also, I didn't eat yet because I was thinking, well, what if they need to do some kind of test where they say, oh, you need to be fasting for us to do this test. And plus, I wanted to get off the ship as early as possible. So if I could come back like now, I would have time to get back on the ship. So nope, I didn't eat, and I am starving. So I'm going to get my butt back on Carnival Firenze. That is it for now. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Okay, yeah, there were a few other things that I wanted to mention. And number one, when you are, whether it's on cruise ships or any kind of traveling, you want to make sure that you have access to your medical history. I have that in the website for my primary doctor. I can go on that anytime to see my last results and stuff, including all my prescriptions that I'm on. I also have hard copies of my last couple of results. I try not to bring hard copies and paperwork with me and stuff like that, but I do have hard copies as well, just in case I can't get on the internet for whatever reason, or if something was to happen to me and someone was going through my stuff and they needed to see what was going on, that is there. Also, make sure that you have a list of your prescriptions. That's, for me, it's included with my medical stuff. But yeah, whenever I go to the doctor like that, well, because I'm coming off the ship, so this is a different story. But even if I was to be on the ship and not have to take all my luggage with me, I still would bring all my prescriptions with me, just like you would on land, just to have that information for the doctors. I talked about having an emergency fund. Know where your home coverage ends and your travel insurance begins. If you're on land in a U.S. port, you can visit urgent care for less than, in my case, for less than ship visit to the ship doctor. And also, in my case, you already know I drink a lot of water, and actually he told me to increase the amount of water that I'm drinking. Let's see. I think that is it. I made a few notes before I got on this camera, and looks like I cover all my bullet points that I wanted to cover. So yeah, that was my adventure today. If you are on this Carnival Firenze on October 12th sailing, getting on the ship October 12th, and you don't see me, sorry not sorry. I'm probably going to spend most of this cruise resting in my cabin because I want to, if there's any remnants left, I just want to stay hydrated, get a lot of rest, maybe watch some TV, and yeah, get my body back to being 100% healthy again. But I was really happy when I saw my vitals. They didn't take my weight, but they did my vitals as far as my blood pressure, my oxygen, my temperature, no fever, all that good stuff, and everything was normal. So happy about that. And with that, I'm gonna go get this luggage, my big bag checked in, keep all my small stuff because that is stuff I cannot live without, and I can't risk that going to somebody else's cabin and me having to wait 2-3 days to get it back. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any additional comments or questions, leave them below. If they're not too invasive, I will probably answer them. If they're just general about, this experience, if you have any questions about, me going over to the doctor and stuff like that. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the next cruise.